So we're going to start with steak, right? Steak is like the MVP of cookout food, right? It's expensive. It's delicious. It's hard to screw it up, right? It's
Grill marks, bud. Grill marks.
That's it, man. It's delicious and expensive though. That's the part I'm looking at. Is it's expensive, and for me, my steak this year is Darius Leonard. He's delicious. He had 160 something tackles last year. He's probably going to have another great year this year, but he's too expensive for me, right? I don't make enough money to afford steak all the time. I don't have enough draft capital to get Darius Leonard, especially where I've seen him going in some of these startups this year. He's going like 5th round, 6th round in dynasty startups, which is batshit crazy. And it'll be that way across the board. A lot of people are convinced that he'll have the same type of year this year. And I think he's due for regression. And I think the hype is just a little too crazy for me. So he's too expensive for my taste. What do you guys think on steak?
I'm a big fan of steak. A little salt and pepper, 400 degrees, a minute each side. Get some red in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. My steak, you're right, though. It is very expensive. I'll get it like every other barbecue. I'll get it. Not every time. But my steak would be Aaron Donald. Not a fan of Aaron Donald this year as much. He's very pricey. He's usually the first, second, or third end or lineman off the board. But if you look at what happened last year, he had a career season with over 20 sacks. It was the only season he spent with another good tackle next to him. Like a Ndamukong Suh was next to him. And he went from 13 sacks, which I believe was a career high, to 20 sacks. And I think any time before that, it was either 13, 10, or 11. And then he gets Suh, and he's got 20. And now Suh's gone, and they didn't really replace Suh with anybody that's going to blow your mind. So I think Donald has some regression back to maybe like the 14, 15 sack range. So he's my steak. Too expensive. Expect the regression.
Yeah. So I agree with you guys. Love steak. It is one of my favorite foods. I often go out of my way to go to the steakhouse to eat good steak. I was a butcher. I currently work at a restaurant. Love steak. So, and obviously agree, it's something you got to save up for. Maybe you get it once, in a while. It's definitely an occasion when you do it. So my steak, and I'm going offense on this one, is Patrick Mahomes. If you look at his ADP right now, he is, according to the IDP Guys ADP, the offense and IDP combined, he is at the beginning of the 3rd round. He is QB1. And based off last year, deservedly so. He had a major breakout, 50 total touchdowns, if I am correct. He is the creme de la creme as far as last year. And so he's being valued that way. I think there might be some regression after, the loss of some major pieces in Kansas City due to unfortunate circumstances. But I think there's still the ability for him to put up great numbers and still be top 5. But it's expensive. He's QB1. And that 3rd round, that beginning of the 3rd round, I just, maybe I'll get it one of my leagues this year. Maybe I'll go that way, but most likely not.